Imagine sitting in a quiet legal room where every word is recorded, every pause feels louder than it should, and then a question lands that makes the air shift. Not about contracts, not about timelines, but about your sex life. That's the moment now dominating headlines, timelines, and comment sections after Blake Lively's legal team publicly criticized the deposition tactics of Justin Baldoni's lawyers, calling their line of questioning improper, irrelevant, and firmly off-limits. The internet, of course, did what it does best, picked sides within minutes. Some people nodded along. Of course, that's inappropriate. Others raised eyebrows. In a legal dispute, is anything really off-limits? And a third group asked the quiet question out loud. Haven't we heard conflicting stories before? So what's really going on here? Was this a necessary boundary being defended? Or another chapter in a messy, public legal narrative? At first glance, this dispute looks like many celebrity legal clashes. Lawyers arguing, statements released, fans reacting. But this one feels different, because it's no longer just about what happened, but what can even be asked. According to statements from Blake Lively's attorneys, Baldoni's legal team crossed a line during deposition by asking questions related to Lively's private sexual history, questions her lawyers argue have no legal relevance to the case at hand. Their response was swift and sharp, accusing opposing counsel of attempting to intimidate, using outdated and harmful tactics, shifting focus away from actual legal issues. In short, they say the questions were never meant to find truth, only discomfort. If the questions were truly irrelevant, why ask them at all? And if they weren't, who gets to decide what's fair game in a deposition? Depositions aren't polite conversations. They're strategic, uncomfortable by design, and often probing. Lawyers ask questions not just to get answers, but to test credibility, consistency, and character. That said, there are limits. Generally speaking, questions must be relevant to the claims or defenses, not purely harassing or invasive, proportional to the case. Blake Lively's legal team argues that questions about her sex life fail all three tests. Supporters agree, pointing out that female public figures are disproportionately subjected to invasive personal scrutiny, especially in legal conflicts. If personal conduct is being referenced indirectly in claims or defenses, isn't it something lawyers are allowed, if not required, to explore? Depositions aren't comfortable by nature. Lawyers follow threads where they lead. Shutting down questions can look like avoidance. They don't necessarily defend the tone, but they question the outrage. This isn't just about Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni. It's about a recurring pattern in high-profile disputes. A legal conflict begins quietly. One moment goes public. Lawyers issue statements. The narrative becomes the battlefield. At that point, public perception matters almost as much as legal outcomes. Calling a question off-limits isn't just procedural, it's symbolic. It tells the public, we are protecting boundaries. We are the reasonable side. The other side crossed a line. But think about a moment when someone brought up something deeply personal. It felt irrelevant to the issue at hand. You wondered if it was curiosity or control. That sinking feeling? That urge to say, why are we even talking about this? Whether you believe Blake Lively's team is right or not, the emotional reaction makes sense. But emotions don't decide court cases. So, who's actually winning here?
Checkered flag.
In the courtroom, that remains to be seen. But in the court of public opinion, every move counts. Blake Lively's legal team has drawn a firm line and sparked a conversation far bigger than one deposition. Justin Baldoni's lawyers, meanwhile, face criticism, but also the quiet support of those who believe nothing should be automatically untouchable in legal inquiry. Should questions about personal life ever be allowed in depositions? Or are they a line that should never be crossed? Is calling something off-limits a necessary protection or a strategic shield? Share your thoughts in the comments. Pass this article along to someone who loves unpacking celebrity legal drama. Let's talk, not shout, about where boundaries should really be drawn.